Good morning and welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche, Thursday morning. Glad to be here. Good morning, tribe. And it's 6:02 here where I am located. So who am I? I am the badass Buddha, Dr. Lori Monaco, your authenticity teacher, speaker coach, specializing in mindfulness practice and transformation. I am your chiropractic physician, your fat eviction specialist, and soon to be author. And I am broadcasting this morning from Cheyenne, Wyoming.
That's awesome and exciting. That's awesome.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Kimberly. Are you going to visit any Native American reservations out in Wyoming?
That's the goal, to do some of that. Yeah, for sure. I'm going to do the itinerary, tweak it. I'm going to be here for 3 days. So or 3 nights. I'll be here for 3 nights. So 4 days. Yeah.
That's awesome. It's so awesome that you're already over there.
Are you freezing?
No.
Oh, Gladiator Guru, come on, man. With her connection is just so phenomenal. So hopefully she will not get knocked off. Here she is. Your connection, man. What is up with that?
But I'm fine. It's telling me I have all my bars.
That's weird because I see our guests on. I see our guests on and they were fine. They were moving. So it was just on your end.
What the heck? I'm sorry, mi gente. I'm going to apologize now for anything that happens within this hour. So, hello, mi gente, aquí con la Margarita. I am broadcasting from Tampa. It's a little gloomy. It's been raining every day for longer periods than normal. But I'm loving it. It's a cool breeze at night. So, see, Michelle says she's taught me the whole time. Yeah, it didn't seem. Who am I? I don't know. That's what I'm still so searching for that. I am your spiritual and creative healing life coach. Your author, writer, artiste. I am your notary, your wedding officiant. So come on down. If you're in Tampa, come and see me.
You are frozen again. Is it just me on my side? Comment, please.
Am I frozen?
Yeah, you froze again for a second.
Well, I am magically orgasmic, mi gente. I am la Margarita, your gladiator guru. And welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche this morning. And let's hope I don't keep freezing. But if I do, the show must go on and I'll play catch up. So any questions you have, just write it. And then if I freeze, I'll try to answer it. So let's get this party started because we have a very exciting guest today.
Let's get the party started.
Miss Karaoke. See, Michelle said it's on Lori's side. I didn't know. Either way, we're gonna be in and out, but that's the story of our lives. We're always in and out, in and out.
Oh, as long as you're still talking on your end, that's beautiful. That works for me. We don't care about my end if I don't hear you. So that's good. Okay. Perfect. So you heard everything.
So offensive. So I didn't even have my cup of coffee. You're talking about you don't care on your end. If you don't.
Oh my God, because I care about the tribe. I want the tribe to hear you. As long as they're hearing you, if I'm freezing, I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that.
You're so totally wrong.
So I'll follow along. See, look, I'm looking at this and I'm looking at the Facebook feed. That's so funny. I'm looking at the Facebook feed and you're right. You're nonstop. So when you freeze on me, I'm just going to keep talking as if you're like, hearing me for everything. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Good morning, Deb. Deb Wojtek is on. Good morning. Desiree is on. Good morning, Desiree. We're happy to have you back. We haven't seen you in a few days. And Lillian's on. Good morning. And where's Luis been?
I know. Right? And where's your other half, Kimberly?
Kimberly, he hasn't been on in a while. We've missed him. So good morning, everybody. Good morning. How's your coffee this morning? It was so cute. Anna sent me a picture of how to make the coffee when she travels. So I was really grateful. I ended up buying coffee yesterday, and I used the coffee maker, but I still have to get used to doing it through my own filtering. So this is what I got yesterday. And
how is it?
It's all
Life
right.
is
I had to
short.
go with
Say
what was
Wait,
at the
wait.
local store at Walmart.
What does it say? Life is
So
short.
it'll work. It is what it is.
She's not hearing
So
me.
good morning, Editha's on. Good morning.
This is going to be ridiculous because we're going to be talking over each other.
Oh, because you freeze. You when you freeze on my end, I can't see it. So I apologize for that.
No. It's not. What did the bag say on the bottom? Life is short.
No, it said Lakeshore. Oh, no, it did. You're right. Oh, life is short. Stay awake for it.
See?
That's funny. That's
That
great.
is beautiful.
All right. So how's everything coming at your place? How's everything going? How's everything being put together? Oh, Luis has been sick. That's why he hasn't been on. Tell him we miss him. And we hope he gets better soon.
We don't have the Viva Cafe con Leche logo.
Oh, I can fix that. Yeah, because all over the place.
Upper respiratory infections. Good morning, Edita. Deb. Oh, you said that. Desiree.
Why is it not showing up? Oh, man. It's like gone. How could it be gone?
There it is.
Oh, there we go.
So how many karaoke shows you're doing?
How many karaoke shows?
You're doing tonight. I love them.
We try to do one a day. So we missed the first day because I didn't come up with the idea until the second day. So we posted it. Oh, no, let me see. I'm trying to think when we did it. But yeah, we did. So we're behind a day. We're behind a day, at least me. Yeah, Little Badass did hers yesterday. Goal. And I keep going out too. I'm going out too. This is like all over the place. And I don't know why, because I've got a great signal. I'm using a hotspot that's absolutely fantastic. So I'm not 100% sure what in the heck is going on.
You know what, mi gente? We're going to be going in and out today. What's important is that we're here, we showed up, and we're going to deal through all the glitches. Because this is our day. This is our morning. We have a phenomenal guest. We have this phenomenal tribe that is up and at it with us every morning. So, Iritza said, badass, sing.
Well, listen, I just got a special note that our guests, one of our guests, Chris Tuck, he can't stay on for very long. So we're going to have them. Why don't we kind of do things backwards a little bit, if that's okay with everybody? So we'll bring Chris and Liza on. I don't know where Liza went with the stream, but Liza, if you can just get back on, and we'll get Chris on, and we'll bring Liza into the stream. And good morning, Chris.
Good morning.
Good morning. So glad you're here. The better half, right? Is that
That's what they say?
What do you think, Liza? The better half?
We're in two different places right now. She's driving, and I'm.
What? You know what? You know we are right. Half and half.
That's it.
Half and half. Okay, good. That works. Yes. That works. So we know, Chris, you can't stay on for very long. So we just wanted to chat with you because we wanted to have you on because we wanted to just talk to the both of you because, as a couple. And I've known Liza for a while. And so I know how she is. And so she's crazy and I love her for that. And I've met you a couple of times and you have a phenomenal sense of humor as well. And I just thought it would be so much fun to have the both of you guys on, talking about, sometimes the challenges of being a couple, the fun parts of being a couple. I know you had a little bit of a little family challenge yesterday, and that's, how long have you guys, I can't remember, how long have you guys been married now?
Let's see. Liza? I'd say we're married or together. There's
both. How about
gap
both?
In between.
Okay, how about both?
Well, together, well over 20 years.
Wow.
And married, I'd say, 15.
Oh, how beautiful. Are you getting emotional, Liza?
Say it again.
He's got it right.
Of course. Come on.
Beautiful.
That's why she was quiet. She was waiting for me to get it right.
Yeah. Let me see. That would have been the topic of dinner tonight. I can't believe you. We're finicky little creatures. We are. We want to do everything for you, and then we want you to know everything.
Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So you guys, you have two boys, and
Yes.
and you both have very busy lives. You know, you both are doing your own things, and then balancing the boys. And I mean, Liza's told me, like, you are like mad, crazy, involved dad. Like, you are just, that's why we wanted to also have you on the dad show. We did have a great guy for the dad show. So, you know, we were sad that you couldn't do it, but we did get a good fill in as well. So we were blessed to have the potential for have two fabulous dads on. So we know that you're really devoted dad. So talk about that. So how do you all balance working, kids, and then find time for each other if you still manage, like, or is that a challenge even being married as long as you do? I know you went on vacation recently as a family.
Oh, yeah.
So talk about that.
It's a constant seesaw. You know, it's a constant up and down, back and forth. It's you try to find the balance amidst, you know, the storm. And we manage it. We do it. You know, we're not big on you know, too many set routines. We just kind of let life take its course, and it does. Life takes over for you and kind of dictates the way you have to go.
Did he freeze on my end, or just your end, or everybody's end? Is he frozen?
No.
I see him.
It's kind of like patchy, like it sounds funny.
You're good. It's only
now, I can only see the four of us. Are there other faces that I'm not seeing, or not?
No, it's just the audience. And they're all
okay.
Kimberly Sanchez commented that what you have is a strong foundation. And if the foundation is strong, then you know what? It can be messy and disorganized and chaotic at times, but the foundation is solid. You're gonna always land on your feet.
Right. And that's good. I like that strong foundation comment, because that's true. You know, one I don't know if it was a way toward the strong foundation, but one way was that we were together like way over 10 years before we ever had kids, and together, you know, lived together, you know, moved from one state to another together, and you know, just experienced a lot of life before we had kids. So
you put in the work, you laid the groundwork.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
There's no more experimenting. You know what I mean?
That's
like
really helpful as well. Like it's really helpful as well when you do that, when you are a couple before the kids come, and you have that time together, and you know, you travel or you do whatever, you know, you do a lot of that. It's not saying that when people like jump in and have kids right away, or they do it backwards, you know, they'll have kids first and then they'll get married, and they weren't necessarily a couple for very long, but either way it can work. But that really, there is something special about that, because then it's you're more you kind of get things out of the way. You sort of, anything that you need to work through sort of can get worked through, and that's really helpful.
Right. But a lot of people kind of become a couple after they have kids, or try to get to know each other in the midst of raising kids, and that could work, you know.
That's right.
But I don't think anything beats what we tried. Kind of had by accident, but now what does this say, Kimberly?
It really does. It really does.
Kimberly, 30 together, 35 years, friends first, before making new additions to the family. So
yeah, and that's the key right there. Enjoy one another before making new additions to the family.
That's fantastic.
Before children.
Desiree says solidifying your union before children.
That is beautiful. I did it backwards.
Me too.
With my son, I was 21. He was 31, but we had a 14-year union, you know. We met at 19. I had my son at 21. And by 33, it was just, you know, I was 19. So But it's beautiful, and it solidified my son's important years of his life, where he got to soak up memories and habits and stuff. And I have a great relationship with my son, who's 31 now. But you're right. It's always, I would have loved that way. Would have loved, but I did it my way. I got 2 kids out of it, so I'm not going to complain.
Nice.
True, you listen to the stories. Hey, what, you laughing at me, Liza?
But I do have to say one thing, with the challenges, I think that, my husband mentioned something about, with, the challenges of being friends first. I think he said something that was very important, because I think the word friend, we kind of throw it around very much so, like it's like a washcloth. We throw the word friend around. And I think for us, the reason why it works is because we had the friendship foundation, and we were able to see each other's weaknesses and strengths during the friendship. And then knowing that information of each other, knowing that piece of character from that person. And I think that solidified and made, when challenges did come up, or when we have, because everybody has challenges in a relationship. I don't care if you're married or not. I think if you're not a real friend and you don't understand the definition of friendship, you can run into some serious issues. And I think that, friends, the word friend, you need to understand what that means. And you need to keep that, even though you're married, you need to keep that in the relationship. You need to be able to talk to your partner and say, hey, this is what's going on with me. This is what's bothering me. This is what I like. This is what I didn't like this, or I really like that. I think that's really important, because it really keeps the union intact. If that makes sense. Right now I have a business. I know we were going to mention that. I'll give you the website, because I know I was going to mention that, a massage business. And I think everything that I went through in my life led up to this moment now where I'm at. So, we had a challenging incident yesterday with my son. But, I talked to my husband about it, and he was still supportive and said, I'm going to be on. We're going to be on, because, we're just going to take this time and come on, because he knew about this 3 weeks ago, when I first mentioned it to him. And, that goes to show his level of commitment in the relationship. So, like, if I ask him as a friend, hey, listen, I need you to do this for me, or can you do it? He usually 100% will follow through. And I think it's important to understand.
Gee, you got that? There's a usually 100%. I never heard of usually 100%.
That's the operative word.
Because
he wanted to make sure
because I know that I use that usually 100%, because unless something is like in an absolute emergency and he can't do it, he won't. It has to be like something like really in the way for him not to do something for me. 100%. It has to be something like so extreme that he's not able to come through. So that's why I say
she cleaned that up really good. She cleaned up that usually.
Because usually it's what. No, I know what I was saying. Because usually it is 100%. But if something comes up where he cannot do it, it's very rare. He usually. Right. That's the.
Otherwise,
that's so beautiful. And why do you have that? Because you built the friendship, but I'm getting the vibe. You did the friendship, but you did it in faith. And in love, and love is having faith, because what is love, right? Love is so grand for us humans that we think we own it, and we don't know what the hell to do with it most of the time. So that's going on faith that this person is the one born for you, and that's beautiful to see that. Like, I was having that with my husband. He got me with all my personalities, with all my ups and downs, my perimenopause, like everything. And then it's like the perfect love story. You finally find somebody that accepts you for who you are and helps you grow, right? And then they die. So to listen to you guys is beautiful. And I just, and I'm sure the badass Buddha agrees. I mean, look, you got so much fans right now. Kimberly said never 50-50. And I totally believe that when you're in a relationship, it's not 50-50. You got to give 100% of who you are and what you bring to the table. So that's beautiful. Keep talking. I just got emotional.
So another the friend part, right? But then also along with the friendship, right? You know, there was a period. Sometimes you go through a period of darkness, right? I won't get into the details, but you know, the darkness. I realized that when I was in the dark, there was light. There was light at the end. So your partner, I just want to share this with the audience. It doesn't, if you really believe in a relationship and you know that person's for you, you have to experience the storm, the rain, the sunshine, the clouds. That's all part of the journey. That's all part of the journey. And I think that a lot of times people stop at the stop sign and be like, you know what? I'm not going no more. I'm done with this. I'm sick of this. You know, I'm not doing this no more. But I realized that that's not part of the journey. That's you being selfish and not wanting to complete something
And lazy.
that's important. It's right. So I realized that, you know, part of the journey is to trust the process. I had a quick, brief conversation yesterday with Dr. Lori Monaco. I love saying that name anyway. I know she says that's Lori, but I like saying Dr. Lori Monaco. So I had a brief conversation real quick because I had to quickly share with Lori, be like, yo, my son had an accident, whatever. He's fine, but I just got to share. I don't know how this is going to go, but I'm just letting you know. She goes, you know, and then she quickly talked to me about her trip. And she said something that struck a chord with me. She said, I did this trip, this cross country thing. And she goes, I just have to enjoy the process. I just have to trust in the process. I was like, yeah, that's right. Trust in the process. So then I had to rewind that a little bit. I said, but do I trust in the process? And when I answered that question, I don't have 100%. I have to say that I do not have 100% access in trusting in the process.
Yes, honey.
I'm not.
It's hard.
I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet, and I can admit that I try to be trusting the process. My husband is real good at that. Oh, he trusts in the process. He's like a real man of God. Let me tell you, he trusts in the process. I'm not there yet. He knows it too. He's a true man of faith, but I believe in God. I love the Lord. I got it, but I have a hard time trusting in the process. So when Lori said it last night, I just trust in the process. I took my girls, I got the dogs, I'm going cross country, 3-week vacation. I said, girl, you got courage. She said, I trust in the process. I said, okay. There it is. It showed up again for me.
Or I'm just like really crazy and stupid. It could go either way.
Listen, when I think, when I talk to people about God, they look at me funny. And, instead of me being the Margie that I can be, I'll look at them and I'll talk about God in any conversation, right? So the people, when they look at me funny, is because I'm either talking about God as I'm smoking a cigarette, and they look at me and I was like, fuck out of here with that shit, right? In the middle of what I'm saying. And I tell them, listen, I say, you're looking at me funny, like I'm talking about God, I'm smoking a cigarette, I got tattoos, I curse, but I may be a heathen, but Jesus loves me. And that's how I live my life. And
that's all you can do. People think that when you talk about God, you have to be perfect. But if you wait to be perfect, you'll never get to know God.
And those that attempt to be perfect are the most judgmental people that don't know God. So, but neither here nor there. I'm not going to judge, but that's how it is. But I live and trust in the process. I've done it. I'm doing it. I have my moments of my, where I forget to feed my spirit that morning, and I get my moments where I can be haywire. But for the most part, I believe if you live your life trusting the process, which means waking up in gratitude and going to bed, surrendering to prayer, then all the in between is just that. It's like Satan, get behind me. You're not gonna throw a rock in my shoe today. That's what I mean. And if it does happen, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna limp until I can stop and remove it. But I'm not gonna stop. And that's what my trust in the process is. Why are you look at she laughing over here? Go ahead. More
I tell my husband, right? Like I tell him all the time, I love these women, right? He knows I come on the show, right? I listen to the show. He knows that it's raw deal. Sometimes it can be real raw. Like we like, so I tell him about the show and stuff like that. He knows how much I love you girls. Like he knows. Like I had to explain to him, who you ladies were. And, so it was just really interesting that for him to be here, let me tell you about him. For him to show up.
I think I would have liked to have heard that conversation. I'm very curious, Chris, to know how she explained who we are to you.
Yes. And you just laughing.
I said, for him to show up, I'm telling you, for him to show up, just to show up at 8:00 in the morning, because he's off. He's a guidance counselor for the Board of Ed, and he has a really great pedigree, and he's a portfolio. You know what I mean? He's been a guidance counselor for the Board of Ed over 25 years in New York City, and he was an assistant principal at one point, but then he stepped down because he wanted to be with our boys, help raise our boys, and he's a minister. He's a minister. He's been active in the church since a young boy. And it's really interesting because for him because he just got off work. They just went on vacation, not even a day ago, 2 days ago. And for him to get up on a vacation to come onto the show at 8:00 in the morning,
nothing but love.
It really says a lot.
Pure love. Sure.
We're honored that you're here. Honestly,
Pure love. That's friendship. That's strong friendship. That's a real strong friendship.
And that's commitment, and it teaches people listening about accountability. He said he was going to do something, and amidst everything that happened, he did it. And to get up on your day off, right. We honor that in people because, maktab, it is written. Right. When something is written, it's going to happen regardless what occurs prior to the commitment. So
and accountability is a big word. That's something I talk to the young people I work with a lot, my sons a lot, is accountability, Accountability is huge. People love to take credit for the good stuff, but you got to take credit for your mistakes too. You got to own it all, and then that's when you can become whole. When you can admit to messing up, when you can admit to the stuff that, when you can talk about God while smoking your cigarette, that's okay. That's accountability. You're not hiding.
No.
You're not a hypocrite.
Chris, it's hard being me. I could not be anybody else. Okay.
That's it. You're who God made. He made you to be you. So be you.
Yeah. Oh, dang. That's all I can be. That's what I tell people. That's why, and thank you for that. Because I don't like fake. I'm very direct. I don't argue over the phone. I like to do face to face, or even just, I love confrontation. To people, that's a negative word. It is not a negative word. Confrontation is clarity, gaining clarity on either something you heard or something you misheard. And I think text takes things out of context, phone conversations. I like to read body language. I'm reading her trying not to tell me, and I'm very good at it. And then but I am who I am. And let me tell you, I pray, I surrender. I'm like, God, take the cigarette thing off me because I ain't strong enough to do it. So when it happens, it happens.
Yeah, and sometimes, I tell you what, sometimes he decides to leave things, because if he took away all your little flaws, would we still call on him the way we do? Maybe not.
No. And he knows me. He knows what a cigarette, it's hand to mouth, it's it's something you do. So
what are you gonna do?
Anything badass Buddha. Liza, both of you are getting so much love.
I know. This is great.
My cousin Iris says she wants what you got. She wants the love. She wants to find the love that you have. It's just phenomenal because what you are doing right now is you are putting that factor of, anything can happen in life with love. And to me, love is love is love. I'm a hopeless romantic. I'm still picking up pieces of my heart places, but you know what? I'll have it shattered again because I'm not afraid to love. But you know, like the love I have with Eric.
So I do have one more thing to add to the friendship, which I think makes a relationship really work and makes it stronger. And I think couples run into this problem a lot. And, you know, I'm not a counselor. I'm not a psychotherapist. I'm not any of those things. I just watch. I'm a people watcher. And, you know, and I just watch people and I hear a lot of stories and I see a lot of relationships. And I want to identify something that I think is very unique in our relationship that, you know, I didn't see. When you're young, I mean, I met my husband when I was like 19. I was like, you know, and you know, when you're young, you don't pay attention to stuff like this. It only self-disclose or reveals itself as you get older, more mature, right? So I think also in a relationship, you have to not try and change the other person.
Absolutely.
You do not get married to customize a human being into what you want, how you want to make them fit you, right? This is not a cookie cutter, you know what I mean? So he knows I'm a little nutty, a good way. He knows that I'm out there, right? Whatever that means. He knows that. He knows I'm a little bit of a hippy dippy. He knows I'm a massage therapist. He knows I touch a lot. He knows I like to go out and have a couple of drinks. I like to sit at the bar. Like, he knows all of these things about me. And he never once came to me and denied me of any of those things. In other words, never came and said, hey, I don't think you should be doing this. I don't think you should be. Never once tried to customize me or tailor me to fit him. And I think that that's very important because you get a sense of freedom. You have to allow the person to be who they are because that's why you were attracted to them in the first place.
Absolutely.
I never felt, even though I'm older, I never felt that I've changed. You know what I mean? I've gotten older, maybe a little slower, but I still am crazy. I'm still out there.
I can
I'm
attest
still
to that.
Liza. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still Liza. Liza is Liza. You know what I mean? That's not going to go anywhere. And I think that along with friendship is a great chicken soup. It's an amazing soup, an amazing recipe for a relationship. Do not try and change the person that you would. Let them be whoever the fuck they are. And enjoy them for who they are. And remind yourself of that's why you went there and got. That's why you got attracted to that person in the first place. There's something about them that, see, here's the, I'm energetic, I'm bouncy, I'm all woo, 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 I got all this craziness. My husband's not like that. He's even keel. I've never heard the man raise his voice. He doesn't yell. He doesn't scream. He's very low key, very laid back, humble, he's almost like a black, I call him like a black stallion. You know, my husband's Italian and black. So, you know, his mother's Italian, his father's black. He's like the black stallion, so he trots. You know, whatever he does, it's just trotting motion. You know what I mean? So
does that mean he's a stud?
He's a trotter.
Does that mean he's also like a stud? Because that's kind of like my.
Yeah, he's like a stud. He's like a trotter. Yeah.
Dang.
He trots.
Chris.
That's beautiful.
So me, I don't trot. I run. I need to go. Somebody needs to crack the whip on me. I'm out of here.
Then I get back
Get the
up.
hell out of here.
Argenis has a good question.
Yes.
So it says, what happens when the other person changes?
Thank you, badass.
That's a very good question. Chris, you want to answer that? Counselor?
Let's see. That's my God. Picked him for you. I'm saying the person changes. Well, I tell you, it was 90 yesterday. It's 70 today. We're not going to jump off the planet. Things change, and you gotta roll with that. You gotta. We love this planet. We're not going to go. You know what? This weather's changing too much. I gotta go. Where are you going? You know, this relationship. This person is she's changing. He's changing. I gotta go. Well, you're going to get into another ever-changing relationship. So you might as well stick with the one that you're in and change with it. You know, and be supportive.
Really
be supportive of the change. You know, to try to analyze the change, figure out why the change is happening. Changes don't happen for no reason. You know, it got a little cooler because it rained. You know, so things
Right.
things change for a reason. They change when they need to change. It needed to stop being so hot for a little while. So maybe, you know, we might be blind to the fact that sometimes a change needs to happen. Yeah, I'm gonna give you another good one since we got on the God topic and about change. You know, think right now of this is gonna be my closeout. It's gonna be my finale. Think right now. Think of a blessing. Now, Liza's probably heard me say this, right? Think of a blessing in your mind right now. When you think of the word blessing, and you've asked God for something, or it's just a blessing. You know, people say, "Oh, you're so blessed," and think of a blessing. Now, let me give you another couple seconds, right? Now, everyone thought of something really great. Thought of some island that they wanted to be on. Thought of some thing they asked for, they've been asking for. You know, everyone thought of some big shiny thing. But you know what? Sometimes a blessing is no. Sometimes a blessing is the end of something. And something that you liked, something that you thought, what happened? You know, God, where were you? But then if you keep living and keep having faith, you'll look back and realize, wow, it's so good that that ended. Thank God that was a blessing. It was so good that change happened. It was so good that I wasn't at that job because look at what happened after I left, or I wasn't in that relationship because look at him now, or look at her now. You know, it was good when it ended, but it was a blessing to get that no. So go with the changes because oftentimes the changes are exactly what you need, and you just didn't know it, but
There
God
you go.
did.
Absolutely.
Praise the Lord. Here you go, Tuck. And you know what? Just to add to that, sometimes you want to talk about relationship and changes and stuff like that. All you do when you feel that you are not in the right place, I'm getting out of here, this isn't working for me. You haven't worked the issues internally of what you need to do because you're going to have many relationships. You're going to go with different people, but guess what? It's the same relationship.
Yeah,
It's the same one relationship.
It's the same man in the mirror. That's you're going to be you.
Right.
You know,
Right.
So that you have to look internally first, and then you'll find the answers to everything.
Right.
And that's the problem.
That's
Going back to what Liza said about customizing. You know, how dare we want to have expectations of how a person we supposedly love should behave? Like, because that's totally wrong. What are you avoiding in your life that you want to see it in someone else? And how do you have expectations to shape and form somebody who you think is perfect after you fell in love with them for being who they were? That's because you need to inquire within and find that peace within. You need to purge all that sorrow, grief, and sadness so you can say, okay, everything's all right in my world, and I'm going to love you for who you are. And not many people can do that. Not many people can love somebody exactly who they are. Why? Because they are not right in their life, in their world. They are not right. They don't got it right with Jesus at this point. So everything's a blur. The food don't taste good, you know.
That's right.
You blame it on somebody that's your partner for whatever reason, or you dislike happiness in other people. Why? That's not my issue. And I tell people that's not my issue. That's yours. So I'm gonna leave it at that. And so I think, So and I think that when you love somebody, love them. And I think the blessing and the assignment that I got when I married Eric and quickly made the shift from wife to full-time caregiver, it was to teach me what is a solid foundation of true love, of clean love, of someone loving me in all my chaos and still saying at the end of the night, I'm happy you chose me. So that was a beautiful love story. So everybody, Liza, I don't know if you saw my cousin said that when he was speaking. What was it that she wrote? That he still gives you a glow.
Yes.
Beautiful.
That's it.
They also asked if he had a brother. They also had the tribe asked if he had a brother too.
Does he have a brother? I do.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Here it is.
My cousin, of course, it would be her. But like you, Chris, I'm Italian and Puerto Rican. My mom was Italian, and my father was a dark-skinned Puerto Rican. So,
okay, see, there you go.
They
That's a
created
good mix.
time bombs. It took me 50 years to control the rage. That was a spiritual walk I did through Spain. I came back. Yeah, so
you
sometimes
came back good.
Yeah.
That's it. All right.
Someone else says something, but so we thank you. I mean, I know you. I don't know if you got to go right now, but Buddha, say something.
She can hear us.
Is she frozen?
No, you guys freeze, and I don't know half the time what you're saying. So what was that last statement? And it's happening so often, so I got to figure this out for the next.
I said, do you have
right now? On our end, on my end, you're frozen. Like I can't. You're not moving.
Your picture still.
I can hear your voice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then it's on my end only. So yeah, I don't know. You guys talk amongst yourselves because I don't know what's going on my end.
You haven't broken up. We can still hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear
you. We can hear you clearly.
You're frozen. Yeah. You're frozen in a good position. You're kind of sitting.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm not like with my mouth open.
No, you're looking like I have to really look and say, is she frozen or not? Because you're sitting very nice. It looks good.
You're so beautifully peaceful right there.
Oh, good. Yes, I see it on the Facebook page. I don't know what the hell's going on. That's so
frozen.
We can hear you good.
Okay, good. I'm glad you guys keep cutting out, which is frustrating because I don't know who's talking and who's not. So, yeah, I don't know what I have to add. I don't know what to add on my end.
Well, on my
but it's
end,
a fantastic conversation. That's what I have to add.
I think you know, I don't see this is like a rare, I mean, I'm not, you know, this is like a rare jewel, right? Like it's a rare gem because we've been at this game for a really long time, right? I always said this, I only get married once. I'm not doing this shit again. Like I'll try anything once. If I don't like it, I don't do it again. You know what I mean? So like, I'm a little more adventurous than my husband is. I'm a little bit more of a risk taker than my husband is. But, you know, I feel that, again, the reason why, I think the key and the recipe, just as I said, let the person be free. Let the person be who they are, right? And let that other person, you both is interchangeably. You have to let other people, you have to let the people that you're involved with just be who they are. Do not try and struggle to change them. It's not going to work. It's like an endless battle. It won't work. There was a woman who used to live in my building, this Albanian lady. We were really good friends with the super, and he moved out. He built his own house or whatever. But she has shared a story with me one time. I said, she had asked me one time, how long you and your husband, and so she didn't speak English well. You and your husband been together how long? So long. And I told her at the time, and she's Albanian. And she said, you know, in Albania, we don't get divorced. I said, oh, that's great. She did back then. She says the culture doesn't believe in divorce. I said, oh, well, what? Why is that? I found it fascinating. She said, because all that's going to happen is that if it didn't work out in this relationship, it's probably not going to work out in the next one either. Because you're taking all of your baggage and all of your shit into the next relationship, thinking that it's going to shift and change, when really it's not. It's just another disaster.
That's right.
Because you haven't corrected the issues in the first relationship. So guess what? Go through everything. Go through the car wash. Your car is fucking dirty. Okay? So go through the car wash. Do what you have to do. And come out clean on the other side. I don't know how long it's going to take. So in other words, me and my husband will stay in the car wash. And the car is going to keep getting dirty. But we're going to keep going through the car wash. Because he loves to clean his car inside and out.
Everybody can get that.
He loves it. So your car is always going to keep getting dirty. Just remind yourself, oh, gotta go in. Okay, I get something's going on here. Let me look at this. Go back to the car wash. Go together. Clean that shit up. Get on the other side.
You know,
if you have to get back in line again, do it again.
I'm gonna put some sprinkles on that cupcake and say, enjoy the rain, enjoy the storms, because it's a free car wash. I'll see you later, guys.
Look at you! Look at you! And you know what? Bob Marley said it best. Some people see the rain, Some people feel the rain. Which one are you?
I did.
Woo!
That's nice.
Woo!
It has been a pleasure, ladies. Thank you.
No.
Thank you, Chris, for coming on.
Yes.
Thank
I
you,
hope to
Chris,
see
for
you
coming
soon.
on. I
I
love it.
will. Be careful out there.
Now go home and treat them good for us, Liza.
What? He's leaving. I'll stay on. I gotta hear. Oh, she does this thing, Chris, that I have to breathe in the beauty, exhale the bullshit. I have to hear that, so I'm gonna stay on.
Oh, you got to fix that. You're saying it wrong.
Am I?
All right.
Shit. All right, Chris. Thank you, honey.
All right, guys. I'll see
Bye,
you later.
Chris.
Thank you very
Bye.
much. Have a good day. Okay.
Oh, shit. I love it.
You know, you said something earlier, and I was like, how does she know my mantra? But I guess it's because it's the right mantra for the day. Let me tell you something. That was very inspirational and enlightening. And not everybody can stay with their partner. Not everybody can stay married. You know, when the line of disrespect is crossed, whether it's through physical violence, emotional, mental, sometimes you just can't stay. But when it's just misunderstandings, because people forget that every 7 years, correct me if I'm wrong, badass Buddha, there's a change that happens within the human body. Your skin changes, you know.
Yeah, your whole body is brand new in 7 years.
Yeah. So there's some people cannot handle those changes, so they start losing themselves. And when they start losing themselves, they start blaming their partner for whatever it is that they're going through because they didn't discover it. They haven't figured out why they're feeling that way and say, oh, and figure it out, right? So all of a sudden, their partner's not cooking with the right ingredients anymore. They're not cleaning the house right. You know, their ass is getting fat, or they're not having sex as much as they want, or the sound of their voice is aggravating. I've been there. My last husband was like my 4th long-term relationship, you know, next. But anyway, what happens with all of that? You have to know who you are, and you have to know when to say, I can't be here anymore, or let me roll up my sleeves. It's time to clean up the shit again.
Or you really have to be friends. You see my shirt? You have to be friends.
You just wanted to show
You
off
really
your
have
boobs,
to.
that's all.
I want to show off my boobs with the word friends on it. You see that? Friends.
And now we know why you
have
and Chris
to be-
are so close. That's you're like
You have to be
Gladiator
friends.
Guru, not
Friends.
fearful to show off those breasts.
No.
You
There
know,
we go.
I think that's really important.
Wait, come on then. Then I'm gonna do it too. Oh, you can't even see me because I'm frozen. So I was up there with a boob shot with all of you guys, and you can't even see because my stupid thing is frozen.
You do.
I love it.
You have to be friends. And along the way, people will go their separate ways. Why, Liza? Why do people go their separate ways after being together so long? Because they give up. I think it's because
And you know, not only do they give up, guess what? They let the ego become part of the friendship. And that's not what and Badass Buddha knows about this. That's not what the ego is there for. We have different aspects of our life and our personalities that we use as we need. They're tools. The ego is there as a tool, not to be part of a relationship. That's not what it's there for. You know, there's a James Taylor song that you guys should listen. It's an old James Taylor song. My mother loved it. A couple of people I know loved it. Shower the people, right? And
love.
Shower the people. If you really listen to the words of that song, he says, there's a phrase that he says. He goes,
yeah, it's a beautiful song.
Oh, sell your pride. There's a part where he says, sell your pride. Now, that's a powerful statement. People are not willing to sell their pride. You should not be walking around prideful. You should not be walking around using your ego all the time. Those two is a disaster. That's mixing wine and beer and alcohol all together and then swallowing a pill. after, you know what I mean? All together. That's a disaster.
Especially when you're combining it with when an ego with insecurity, because that really makes a huge freaking that. I mean, that's all I've been involved with. You know, truth be told.
Bryce?
It's what I write in my book.
So you need
to feed the spirit and starve the ego, because it can take over easy and quick, and you have to be aware, which is like the pride and everything. You can't feed into it.
And we don't operate, and many people do not operate mindfully. You know, the mind is not your friend. Let me tell you, the mind is not your friend. It's there. It's a computer. Once you understand how the mind works, it's just a computer. It will just keep replaying that shit over and over until you sit it down like an animal and make it stop and let it work for you. It is not the CEO of your life. Okay? The mind is not the CEO. It wants to be, and it can easily be if you allow it. But you have to set the tone for your life. You have to set the tone in the direction and how you want to live and how you want to treat people and the types of relationship you want to be in. Or guess what? It is not going to work. You're going to keep running into the same shit. You might as well get on the hamster wheel and never get off, because that's what you're going to be.
That's because the most important relationship is with yourself. You have to know yourself first. And that was always my problem. I mean, I was always madly insecure. And as a result, I attracted insecure people in my life. And they, you know, they really did a number on me in a sense. And so, you know, and when Chris was talking about blessings, I was talking, you know, I'm saying to myself, he's like, think of what your blessings are. And I thought to myself, my blessing is my awakening, like waking the fuck up finally. After hitting such a low point in my life. And it was due to a relationship, you know, that's what it was, a relationship that caused my low point and it pulled me out. So so I'm grateful to that. I really am. That really was a blessing. It was the worst part of my life. Honest to God, it was the lowest I've ever been, but it got me to where I am today. And I'm really grateful for it.
Now, can I ask you a question? Was that lowest point because of what happened in your relationship, or was it combined with your insecurities?
It was, well, the trigger was what happened in the relationship. But then it pulled out, it pulled out all my insecurities, because the self-worth piece just smacked me in the face. And you know, for somebody to contemplate killing themselves, you know, you have got to have pretty low self-worth, because you don't just take a thought process like that very lightly. But at the same time, you know, I had enough insight to say, what's the common denominator here? You know, it's me. So that's the shit that needs to change. I can't change anybody else, and I can't be responsible for anybody else's really.
Everybody froze on me. Can you hear me, Badass Buddha? Hola. I guess that Liza, something happened with her connection, and for the moment, the Badass Buddha is frozen in time. So if anybody has any questions, I'm not going to log off because she might be able to come back on. If I log off, she won't. But anyway, mi gente, write your comments. But isn't that beautiful that you can hear someone in this time and era after a pandemic, a quarantine, you know, after the fear factor that was imposed upon us and try to be ingrained into our brain, right? That we can't do none of this stuff. To hear a love story like that they were together for so long, then they had kids, and then he's a dedicated dad. I know my son's father was a dedicated dad, and now he's a dedicated grandfather, which is beautiful. So, like, isn't that enlightening? I think that just shows the power of love, which is God. To me, God is love. That's why it's so vast for us to comprehend, and that's why we keep getting it wrong, because we try to control it and try to understand it instead of just allowing it to flow through us and with us. So I think that when we hear stories like that, it is an inspiration. Whether you're looking for a relationship, whether you are in a stagnant relationship, or whether it's confirmation for your happy relationship, that you're following your path. Oh, here she is. I was talking about you. So just reminding people and see if they had anything to say about that through pandemics and fear factor and all this kind of stuff, that you can come on today and still talk about a love that is, like this and not like this. And it's a beautiful thing that through everything, through all the changes, I think when the love is right there and you keep falling on it like a trampoline, right? It's your safe haven. It's love, and then there's life. Before you get back up. So that's what I was saying, because I said they're going to come back on. And here you are. I don't know what happened. So I just think that you do it all. We just got to give your all. Trust in the process. Yeah. Believe that you
trust in the process.
Purpose for a reason. Whether it was to learn something, whether your heart had to break, whether they had to die, whether you had to break up. It was always a reason. And especially if there's children involved, then you know that there was no mistake in you picking that partner or that partner picking you, because this child had to be with the DNA that she was born with. So I think that there's no mistakes. We just take everything to heart instead of what is. Life acts death. Why do people love me and hate you? And death said, because you are a beautiful lie and I am the ugly truth. And the ugly truth sometimes is that we need to check ourselves to then operate in our relationship full-hearted. If that relationship no longer can go, then we still need to check ourselves, see what's the issue, make a decision, and then work on what we got to work on ourselves, because we're not responsible for someone else's ways. I just think when you love them. Go ahead.
It's true. Like, I had a friend who I didn't understand that concept for a while. Like, you're not responsible for someone else's bullshit. Like, that's not your bullshit. You should not take on someone else's stuff. And I didn't understand it for a while. And then a friend of mine, a real good dear friend of mine, I love him to death, he had to kind of show me, like, yo, that's not yours to carry. Like, that's their bullshit. Like, it's not yours. And I didn't understand that. And then it just took me a minute for that to register. Like, I don't understand that concept. And finally I realized this was all a projection. People like to project their shit on you. And then we, as depending on what type of person you are, if you're a weak person, you just automatically take it on. And you got your own bullshit to deal with. You got your own junk in your basement to clean up. And you just sitting there loading up the basement with other people's shit.
Yep.
Other people, it's like a storage unit, and you're moving shit in, and motherfuckers, you ain't even charging people for the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's bring our stuff in. We're gonna pack this in Liza's house downstairs. Let's pack all this shit here in Liza's house.
I had a huge basement. Apparently, my basement was huge,
and I'm sure it wasn't all filled with your shit.
Nope.
Because we need to properly archive the happenings in our lives and compartmentalize as things happen, and then that's how we can filter through and say, oh, this is what we can do. Look, oh, I see this. That's not mine. Right. This isn't mine. This isn't mine. And then you're left with one child, and you're like, oh shit, my life isn't as bad as I thought it was. Let me fix it. So yeah, this was fantastic, Liza. But we're gonna close on our ending. So my coffee for today that I didn't get to talk about because I went to the store late, and that store only happens to have that, and I'm whatever. So I was thinking,
Liza, you gotta mute yourself, honey. Mute yourself.
You gotta mute yourself. You hear the wind.
Oh, how do I do that?
Yeah, how do you do that on
How
the
do I
phone?
do?
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's all right. That's all right. We're gonna.
You're good.
So yeah, I was drinking Maxwell House, medium, whatever. It was okay. It was okay.
It's like you're cheating with like a lesser.
I wanted to show you that, I know you're going through all these places and drinking coffee that you're not accustomed to. So I was like, I'm going to get it. It shows solidarity and the coffee dysfunction of the trip. Okay. So that's for you. And
Thank you, my friend.
Was, my favorite song, Hello Darkness, my old friend.
You need to listen to that song. That's your song today. Listen to James Taylor, Shower the People.
I will. But it's funny because you said something and I said, oh my God, my mantra today was on thing. So the thing was to sing that song, Hello Darkness, my old friend. I love it. And the mantra was, in my darkness, I will be my sparkler. In your darkness, be sparkles. Be the light, whether it's in and out. Be the sparkler in your darkness, because we need both. And it is through your darkest hour your blessings are born. That's my mantra.
Okay.
Is that for today? Because you had the intention for today, so you want me to do
my God. So then it's not my mantra. It's my. Go ahead. Smart ass. Go ahead.
Oh, the mantra for today would be your mantra for today is I'm going to love myself like I would love someone else. Because most of the time we love someone else better than we love ourselves. So I'm going to love myself as much as I love someone else.
Yeah, we do. That's beautiful, because we do. I think 90% of the time we're loving everyone around us and have expectations that they should know where we're coming from. So that's beautiful. Thank you. And hello, Erica Balahala, Jorge, Chanel, thank you. This is a beautiful cup. I'm sorry.
Oh, I didn't even see Attica's on there. I didn't even see.
Her birds. In New York, her birds are flowing.
Yeah, so Liza, thanks so much for coming on. We are thrilled that you came on. And Chris, and tell him thank you. And love you guys. We love you guys. You have good luck with your son. And I hope, we feel better very, very quickly,
Yes, he's doing much better this morning. I have to say the swelling went down. He's doing great. He won't be doing that again. But I wanted to just give you my website, the I think I put in the chat, www.backtohealingmassage.com. You could look at the website. It's www.backtohealingmassage.com. And, things have been very busy there with, things opening up. So I've been doing well. It's a slow start, but people are booking. And it's been a great start. So thank you, lady.
I highly recommend. Liza's a phenomenal healer. So she's beyond the massage therapist, truly.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, ladies, come on, girl, give it to me. You know what I'm waiting for.
Go ahead, Laura. All right, we're going now.
So next Tuesday, we have to put it out this way. So for next Tuesday, we have on the show, we have Keep It Moving, Cutting Through the Shit with Demi Gray. So that's going to be very exciting. She's quite an influencer out of Atlanta, and I believe it's Atlanta. So don't miss Tuesday's show. Everybody have a phenomenal weekend. And from the Badass Buddha here in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and who knows where I will be on Tuesday. You stay tuned to find out. Remember, being real and be extraordinary.
Today, and remember to breathe in the beauty and breathe out the bullshit. Namaste.
Namaste, everyone.
Namaste.
I can't. Bye, girls. I'll see you.
Okay, bye-bye.